Hello, welcome back to Daily English Boost. I am Kate.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I am Martin.
On this channel, we help you practice real-life English for everyday conversations.
If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to our channel.
Yes, it really helps us a lot. Today we are going to talk about something very important and maybe a little scary.
That's right. We are going to learn how to argue a controversial topic in your first English debate.
So, Martin, have you ever been in a debate before?
Yes, I have. Actually, in university, I had to debate about environmental protection. I was very nervous at first.
Oh, I understand. Debates can feel intimidating. How did you feel before it started?
My heart was beating very fast. I was worried I would forget my words or say something wrong.
That's a very normal feeling. I felt the same way in my first debate. But you know what? After you start speaking, the nervous feeling goes away a little.
That's true. Once I said my first sentence, I felt a bit more confident. So, Kate, what exactly is a debate?
A debate is when two people or two teams discuss a topic and they have different opinions. One side says yes, the other side says no. You use arguments and examples to support your opinion.
Right, and the goal is not to fight or be rude. The goal is to present your ideas clearly and respectfully.
Exactly. Even if you disagree strongly, you must be polite. This is very important in English debates.
Let's talk about controversial topics. What does controversial mean?
Controversial means people have very different opinions about it. Some people feel strongly one way. Other people feel strongly another way.
Can you give some examples?
Sure. For example, should schools require students to wear uniforms? Some people say yes because it creates equality. Other people say no because it limits personal freedom.
That's a good example. Another controversial topic is, should animals be kept in zoos? Some say yes for education and conservation. Others say no because animals should be free.
And here's another one. Should social media have age restrictions? It's controversial because young people want freedom, but parents worry about safety.
These are all topics where reasonable people can disagree. That's what makes them controversial.
So, let's imagine you have your first debate tomorrow. You feel nervous. What should you do first?
The first step is to understand your position. Are you arguing for yes or against no?
Right. Sometimes in a debate class, the teacher assigns you a position. You might have to argue for something you don't personally believe. That's okay. It's practice.
Exactly. The second step is research. You need to find facts, statistics, and examples to support your argument.
Research is so important. You cannot just say, I think this, or I feel that. You need evidence. For example, if you argue that school uniforms are good, you might research studies that show uniforms improve student focus.
And if you argue against uniforms, you might find examples of schools where students without uniforms perform just as well.
Now, let's talk about structure. A good debate argument has 3 parts. Can you explain them, Martin?
Of course. First, you have your opening statement. This is where you clearly state your position. For example, I believe that social media should have age restrictions for 3 main reasons.
Good. The opening tells everyone exactly where you stand. What's the second part?
The second part is your main arguments. These are your reasons. You should have 2 or 3 strong reasons, not 10 weak ones.
Right. Quality over quantity. For each reason, You give an explanation and an example. This makes your argument stronger.
And the third part is your conclusion. You summarize your main points and end with a strong final sentence.
Perfect. So it's opening, main arguments, and conclusion. Simple structure, but very effective.
Now, Kate, what are some useful phrases for debates?
Oh, this is important. Let me share some phrases for stating your opinion. You can say, "In my opinion," or "I strongly believe that," or "From my perspective."
Those are good. What about when you want to add another point?
You can say "furthermore," or "in addition," or "moreover." These words connect your ideas smoothly.
And when you give an example,
You can say, "for instance," or "for example," or "to illustrate this point."
what if you want to show contrast, like showing the other side is wrong?
You can say, "however," or "on the other hand," or "in contrast." These phrases help you acknowledge different viewpoints.
Speaking of different viewpoints, let's talk about counterarguments. This is very important in debates.
A counterargument is when you address what the other side might say. You show that you understand their point, but then you explain why your point is stronger.
Can you give an example?
Sure, let's say you argue that zoos are necessary. You might say, "Some people argue that zoos are cruel to animals. However, modern zoos play a vital role in conservation efforts and protect endangered species."
I see. So you mention their argument, then you respond to it. This shows you are thoughtful and prepared.
Exactly. It makes your argument more convincing because you're not ignoring the other side.
Now let's practice some common mistakes people make in their first debate.
The first mistake is speaking too fast because you're nervous. When you speak too fast, people cannot understand you clearly.
Right. Take your time. Breathe. It's better to speak slowly and clearly than to rush through your words.
The second mistake is being too emotional or aggressive. Remember, a debate is not a fight.
If someone disagrees with you, don't take it personally. Stay calm and focused on your arguments, not on attacking the person.
The third mistake is not listening to the other side. If you don't listen, you cannot respond effectively.
Good point. Always pay attention when your opponent is speaking. Take notes if you can.
Another mistake is using too much complicated vocabulary to sound smart. If you use words you don't fully understand, you might use them incorrectly.
It's better to use simple, clear language that you know well. Your goal is communication, not showing off.
Now let's talk about body language. This is important too.
Yes, stand up straight. Make eye contact with your audience. Don't cross your arms because it looks defensive.
Use hand gestures naturally to emphasize your points, but don't overdo it. And most importantly, smile a little. It shows confidence.
Even if you feel nervous inside, confident body language helps you appear more convincing.
Let's do a mini practice right now. Martin, I'll give you a topic and you give me a quick opening statement.
Okay, I'm ready.
The topic is, students should be allowed to use smartphones in class. You argue yes.
All right, here's my opening. I strongly believe that students should be allowed to use smartphones in class for 3 key reasons. First, smartphones provide instant access to educational resources. Second, they prepare students for the digital workplace. And third, banning them completely is unrealistic in today's world.
That was excellent, Martin. You stated your position clearly and previewed your 3 reasons. Now I'll try one. Give me a topic.
Okay. The topic is public transportation should be free for everyone. You argue no.
In my opinion, public transportation should not be completely free. While I understand the desire for accessibility, free transportation would create 3 major problems. It would eliminate funding for maintenance and improvements. It would lead to overcrowding, and it would place an unfair burden on taxpayers who don't use these services.
Very good. You acknowledged the other side briefly, then presented your position with clear reasons.
Thank you. Now, viewers, remember that practice makes perfect. You don't need to be perfect in your first debate.
That's right. Everyone makes mistakes. The important thing is to try, to learn, and to improve each time.
Before we finish, let's review some key vocabulary for debates.
Our first word is argument. In a debate, an argument is not a fight. It's a reason that supports your opinion.
For example, my main argument is that exercise improves mental health.
The second word is evidence. Evidence is facts, data, or examples that prove your point.
Studies show that regular exercise reduces anxiety. That sentence provides evidence.
Third word is counterargument. This is when you address what the other side might say.
Right. And our fourth word is rebuttal. A rebuttal is your response to the other side's argument.
And finally, the word perspective. This means your point of view or way of seeing the topic.
These 5 words will help you participate in any English debate.
Well, Kate, I think we covered everything someone needs for their first debate.
We really did. From preparation to presentation to vocabulary.
Now it's time for our question of the day.
Here it is. Think of one controversial topic that interests you. It could be about technology, education, environment, or anything else. Write in the comments what topic you would like to debate about.
And if you're feeling brave, tell us which side you would argue for. Remember, there are no wrong answers. We just want to hear your thoughts.
We will read your comments, and maybe we can practice some of these topics in future videos.
Before we go, remember that debating in English is a skill. Like any skill, it improves with practice.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every debate makes you a better English speaker.
Thank you so much for watching today. We hope this video helps you feel more confident about debating in English.
Please subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next lesson.
From all of us here at Daily English Talk, keep learning, keep practicing, and have a wonderful day.
See you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.